As North Texas expands, there's a risk on the road that might have never, ever crossed your mind. More North Texans live where horses and cows and cars all share the pavement sometimes. In a crash, people sometimes die, and if not, the collision can cause thousands of dollars in damage. So the question is, who is liable? I-Team reporter Brian New joining us tonight to explain the question that doesn't, we have found, have a very easy answer, does it?
Yeah, no, not at all, Doug. And it's not just difficult for us to answer, but difficult for ranchers, lawyers, even judges. And that's because in many cases, the county law that determines who's liable has been lost in history.
In North Texas, once seldom traveled roads connecting farms to markets are now busy thoroughfares. And at the intersection of rural and urban, the CBS 11 I-Team found an increasing number of collisions.
And I woke up with the phone ringing and the dog bark and somebody knocking on the door. I knew then what it was.
Kathy Johnston knew her husband of 22 years was not coming home.
He was everybody's friend.
He had been killed in a car wreck.
Yeah, he brought a lot of people together. He's a good guy.
Investigators say Worshel Johnston was in a car traveling on FM 917 in Johnson County when around the corner the driver spotted a horse in the middle of the road. The driver swerved, lost control, the car flipped, then struck a cement truck. In a matter of minutes, investigators say this one horse caused 5 vehicles to crash, killing 2 people.
Why would a horse be out on the road? Are you looking for horses when you drive down the road?
The I-Team found hundreds of crashes in North Texas in the past 5 years that, according to accident reports, were caused by livestock on the roadway. Some were even fatal. In July 2014, 23-year-old Linda Gray was killed after her car struck a horse on Highway 34 in Hunt County. Same thing happened to 22-year-old Tyler Lay in 2017 on a county road in Kaufman County. And later that year in Hood County, Greg Littlefield was on his motorcycle at night when he too died after running into a cow. It's impossible to say if anything could have prevented these accidents, but the I-Team found the laws in Texas that are supposed to protect both drivers and ranchers are often antiquated at best, and at worst, unknown to local law enforcement and even judges.
I get calls from those individuals, just like you mentioned, on an almost monthly basis, wanting to know if I know the law in their county.
Attorney Allison Rowe says to understand how this could happen, we need to go back to the 1800s. At the time, to make it easier to transport cattle to market, state lawmakers declared Texas open range, giving cattle the right-of-way to roam free. That is still the law today.
Says even Dallas has certain pockets that are still open range.
So there are places in Dallas where you don't have to fence in your cattle.
Correct.
But while Texas by default remains open range, over the years several counties have passed stock laws, also known as fence laws. Some of these laws cover an entire county. Others, however, cover just parts of a county or just certain types of livestock. Adding to the confusion, many stock laws in North Texas are more than a century old, often handwritten, using creeks, rivers, and outdated precinct lines as boundaries. And then in some North Texas counties, when we asked the county clerks for a copy of their stock laws, no one in the county could find them.
I've been a lawyer for over 15 years, and it is literally the hardest law to find and determine what a definitive answer on.
Rose says unclear stock laws make it difficult for law enforcement, as well as difficult to determine liability in car accidents. She says overturning Texas's open range law is long overdue.
We no longer need it, in my opinion.
Just because you have an animal on the highway has nothing to do with that you did anything wrong.
Scott Williamson is the head of law enforcement for the Texas Southwestern Cattle Raisers. He says even when fenced in, cattle on occasion do get out. It's inevitable. He says getting rid of the open range law would not necessarily cut down on cow-to-car collisions. He says it could be devastating for some ranchers.
Their operations preceded these county roads, so they may not have water on one side or the other. The sheer cost may put them out of business at fencing 100 miles on both sides of a road through their ranch.
I have to drive down 917 to get my boy to work, and it makes me sick every time I see that sign sitting there.
Kathy Johnson says there may have been a time when open range made sense in Texas, but she says not anymore.
Really, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Where Worshel Johnson was killed in Johnson County, investigators say is closed range, meaning the owner of the horse is required in that area to fence in his animals. But investigators told the I-Team, Doug, that the owner did not intentionally allow his horse to roam free and that his fence was adequate.
So I think that the fair assumption is rural counties, you think that may still be open range. Obviously, you drive out there and you feel like it's open range, right? It's a natural feeling, but you're finding not necessarily in the confines of the Metroplex.
Yeah, not at all. Collin County, for example, it doesn't have any stock law. So in unincorporated parts of Collin County, livestock actually have the right of way on these farm to market roads. That's also true in parts of Dallas County as well. And we have copies of many of these stock laws. They're pretty cool to look at because most of them are these handwritten laws. We've put a bunch of them up on our website for people to check out.
Yeah, and you bring to light something that I think the woman in the piece at the very beginning, she says, do you think about a horse when you're driving around? No, I don't think most people do.
No.
Yeah. All right, Brian, thank you very much. Brian does want to hear your questions, concerns, feedbacks on the rules of the road involving Texas livestock. Be sure to share your thoughts by email if you got a second, iteam@ktvt.com. Maybe you've got some insight to share. And then be sure to watch tomorrow. We're going to have a special Behind the Lens episode on our website where Brian is going to be there to answer your questions, address your concerns, and have a discussion with you. Look for that tomorrow afternoon. It'll be in the I-Team section on CBSDFW.com.